Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome replay viewers. We are at the Long Island Railroad Speonk station, where we are watching today's Sunday traffic, taking primarily the trains heading west, taking people back to the city. Nabul, good to see you. Andrea, thank you for joining me. I'm waiting for train 6005 from Montauk to Jamaica, which should really be packed today, carrying the 4th of July holiday week travelers back toward New York City and up the island. Yeah, they're running late, Nabul. The train is on schedule here. It's scheduled at 12:53 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and we're already at almost 1:14. They're announcing it's about 30 minutes late, which means it's a packed train with people traveling from the Long Island's East End, South Fork, back toward New York City. Yeah, the train number is 6005. So I did YouTube videos of two earlier trains. I did not try to broadcast those because I wanted to conserve my battery power for this particular one. So what we're going to see tonight, let's get the announcement.
12:53, train to Jamaica will add a stop at.
They're making an announcement that the 12:53 train to Jamaica will add a stop at, but they don't tell you what that added stop is. This train runs local from Montauk to Speonk, and I can give you the station names there in a minute. And then from Speonk it runs express to Jamaica. Yes, I'm on Prism Live Studio, Nabul. So then normally what happens is people get off at Jamaica and they transfer to an electric train to go into Manhattan's Penn Station.
The 12:53 train to Jamaica will arrive in 16 minutes.
All right, so now they're saying it will arrive in 15 minutes. But usually when the train gets so crowded like this, they're operating with the dual mode diesel electric locomotives, so they can actually then continue on into Penn Station on third rail power, so people don't have to transfer at Jamaica from one train to another. Yeah, I figure well, I know a little bit about Long Island Railroad operations and everything, and being a somewhat regular traveler on the railroad for many, many years, decades as a matter of fact, and having some good acquaintances and friends who work for the railroad. Yes, Andrea, to answer your question, I'm sorry for the delay. This is the 11:37 train from Montauk to Jamaica. So it's scheduled to leave Montauk at 11:37, and it makes stops at Amagansett, East Hampton, Bridgehampton, Southampton, Hampton Bays, West Hampton, and Speonk. In other words, all of the East End, South Shore, South Fork towns in the so-called East End of Suffolk County. And then it runs express from Speonk to Jamaica. But if you follow train time, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you see this train continue to run through your area on the main line all the way to Penn Station today. But I don't know if that's guaranteed or not, but it should. Oh, Nebul, I'm sorry, I'm looking at your comment. Yes, I figured out what was going on with Prism, the chat widget overlay. So it turned out it was the Prism company, Naver. They when they went to an upgrade of the version for iPhones, iOS, a while back.
The 12:53 train to Jamaica will arrive in 12 minutes.
All right, they're just now announcing 12 minutes for arrival. But anyway, the app upgrade that they did a month ago, it caused the chat widget to crash.
The 12:53 train to Jamaica will add a stop at.
She's still not saying what the stop will be. I think what the stop will be Penn Station. So anyway, I did some testing, and you folks helped me out with the chats, and I sent the information to the Prism company, Naver company, and they said, oh yeah, gee, we have a problem here. So they did another iOS app update. So now they updated the system to 3.2.0, and that cleared up the missing chat window problem. So I'm looking at your comments blown up to be able to be read by my old-time eyes on the chat widget overlay on my screen. And I have the regular little chat window that it appears if you're in the landscape mode, that would appear on the iPhone screen in the lower left-hand corner. I have that turned off. And I also set the font size for your chats coming in to I think 28 or 30, which is good size font, but it makes it very readable. And the other thing that helps me personally is that whoever is typing in a chat, your name is in color, but your chat message is in white on the black background. And I also have it set up for bold type, so it makes it easy to read on the screen out in the daylight like this. Okay, let me just turn around here while we're waiting for another 10 minutes for this train, and I'll show you some of the crowd here is, well, they're all dispersed out. Some of them have gone to a restaurant across the street.
The 12:53 train to Jamaica will arrive in 14 minutes.
So I hope they don't miss their train if they walk down the street to a little delicatessen shop or across the street to the restaurant. Nabul, it's supposed to work for both iOS and the Windows type machines. So whatever you have, but give it a try. You can select by swiping to the left. It gives you a window of, you can make selections.
12:53, train to Jamaica without a stop sign.
So then you can size the chat window any size you want and make the text any font size you want. You can turn it with your fingertips so that you can align the chat widget overlay onto a horizontal screen. They tell us the train is away 12 minutes away, and then the next minute says 14 minutes away, so this is really okay. You have iOS, right? Yeah. I mean, this is an iPhone 14 Pro Max that I'm using, and it works very well on this screen, on this system. Just make sure you have the latest app rev, which should be 3.2.0. There was a big crowd at this station an hour ago for an earlier train to the city from Speonk to Babylon and then on to the city, and they only had 3 cars on that train, so that had to be standing room only by the time they packed them in. You'll be able to see that on the video I'll put together at home tonight.
12:53, train to Jamaica will arrive in 11 minutes.
All right, 11 minutes they're saying now. As long as we have a good signal, I'm going to stay with the live broadcast here. So I'm operating at 40 kilobits and 30 frames per second, which seems to be pretty good. And T-Mobile is telling me I've got 4 out of 5 bars, so I guess we have enough signal strength. Oh, 136 it's saying now, Andrea? Yeah, okay, it's 126 here, so. I just hope we don't get signal breakup or buffering or video freeze as the train passes me by here in the station. Because I think one of the problems with using this Prism live streaming is that you'll get multipathing bouncing off the railroad cars. The signal, may lock up for that reason. But we'll see. Okay. The announcement keeps saying the train to Jamaica will make a stop at, without saying what that stop is. But I think we can safely assume that she means they're going to continue it on as a dual mode to Penn Station. Yeah. I hope they can get on. They say in the app says the train is just about full, eh? Well, they made an announcement here earlier that there was some room in the rear cars.
B1253 train to Jamaica will
Yeah, we don't have
arrive in
to
8 minutes.
trains working.
8 minutes it'll be here, hopefully. Hopefully they're running the 12 car set. Aha. Let's look at this, folks. This is a surprise. Okay, this is what I thought might happen. We have a Suffolk Transport school bus here, and there's a Long Island Railroad station attendant talking to the driver. So I think we're going to see some people put on the bus here to be taken to the Babylon station, where they'll take an electric train from Babylon to Penn Station. It may come down to that, but we're going to keep our eyes on that. I remember before COVID, they actually chartered coach buses, and they had a 4 or 5 coach buses here at West Hampton and here at Speonk. That was at the end of the 2019 4th of July holiday, the year before COVID. So let's stay tuned for that. We'll cover it all. Now, if there's any signal loss or breakup of a video, I am recording this live broadcast on the iPhone, so I will do a backup YouTube video recording also tonight, and that'll take care of any video dropouts or anything. That you can look at that video later this evening.
So if you're going to where, sir? Babylon, to get a train to Babylon. Just where you're not going to be able to get off.
Oh, then they made the announcement. Okay. Okay, listen to this now. I'll try to pass on the information. See the gentleman in the orange vest? He's a station attendant.
Jamaica will arrive in 5 minutes.
So he's telling the people there's no room on the train. They have to take this school bus from here to Babylon, which is about an hour to the west of us, but by train trip.
To Jamaica will stop at.
So they're going to put people on the school bus and take them to Babylon. They'll catch the electric train from there to New York. But I don't know if everyone from this station can get on this one bus. Let's pay attention here and we'll see. See, there's more people up the other end of the platform. Right? Now, they will most likely stop here, the train I'm talking about, in the event that there's anyone on the train that needs to get off at Speonk. But the platform attendant is telling the passengers here that they're going to have to take the bus because there's no room on the train. Dutch. School trip. Yeah, isn't that something? Well, as I say, I haven't seen this since the 2018, 2019 4th of July holiday period, when we actually had a few coach buses here that had to take people to Babylon. Wow, okay. Isn't that something? And of course the other option that anyone has here, and they'd have to wait for a 2:05 Speonk to Babylon train, which should not be crowded. And again, they transfer at Babylon for the Babylon to Penn Station train there.
The 12:53 train to Jamaica will arrive in 4 minutes.
All right, the announcement is the train will now arrive in 4 minutes from West Hampton. That's the stop to the east of us. Oh, well, Uber. I don't think so. Well, I don't know. You know, talking about the price of that. All right, so the railroad has gotten a school bus here, and here comes some more people coming across the street from this restaurant over there. I hope they're not thinking about getting on over here. Yeah, it's an interesting way to travel. Again, the last time I saw this was before COVID pandemic hit us. Here goes our school bus. Okay, so he's taking the folks to Babylon Railroad Station. The nominal train trip from Speonk to Babylon is 60 minutes. He'll make it close to that, because it's all, once he gets on Sunrise Highway, it's clear sailing to Babylon. I was at West Hampton after one of the summer holidays 6 or 7 years ago, and they had coach buses for people. So the train pulled in and there was absolutely no room on the train, and I remember telling this young couple who had an infant in a stroller, I said, look, you're better off taking the bus to Babylon and then you know, just walk, go up the elevator to the electric train, because there'll be a lot more seats there and more comfortable.
Train to Jamaica will arrive in 1 minute.
All right, 1 minute arrival time here. Let's see if that holds up. You'll see this train come past the Speonk yard here, flying into the station. Oh, they had work going on the Port Jeff branch, eh? Okay. So people will, you could get as far as Hicksville. Go ahead. Well, that's the longest 1 minute I've ever experienced.
The 12:53 train to Jamaica will add a stop at.
Now the 12:53 train to Jamaica will add a stop at Penn Station. It has to go all the way today as a dual mode. So Andrea, if you're still with us, then let's see, 90 minutes from here to Jamaica. So about an hour and 40 minutes you should see it flying through your area. Just left West Hampton. Yeah, it's a normally a 7-minute run.
The 12:53 train to Jamaica will arrive in 5 minutes. More is available towards the rear of the train.
Well, they're sending conflicting messages here. So normally it's a 7-minute run from West Hampton to Speonk. And now she just said that there are some seats available toward the rear of the train. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, Dutch. Well, thanks for joining us. And I just heard the horn of the crossing to the east of us, about a mile to the east of us, so it'll be here shortly. Yeah, I'm glad I came out here today. It was all weather dependent. Nah, you're right, Andrea. They're making conflicting announcements. But, you know, it's all computer generated, so it's not a real person sitting there getting updated information. Well, okay. Well, Dutch, I'll tell you, let's see, 142, 242, 310, 315 time frame at Jamaica. Oh, you see it moving along then. Okay, good. Okay, here go the gates down at North Phillips Avenue. There's the whistle for the horn for Jagger Lane, which is just to the east of the Speonk yard. Okay, so it's almost 55 minutes late here at Speonk. Yeah. Love that horn. Is that a K5 LLA? Help me out, folks. It has to be. That is some horn. Eight. Oh my goodness. 9. 10. 11. 12 cars. Standing room only. Vestibules are packed. 5:21. So they're going to try to squeeze on a few people. Out. .521 in trail. Alright, next stop Jamaica. I will guarantee you that this will be a dual mode all the way to Penn Station. So that's the end of that, folks. The next train westbound is the 205 Speonk to Babylon train, which these people are going to have to wait for now. But that's okay, because that's only 25 minutes away. So they'll be all right. All right, thanks for joining me for this. I hope we didn't have any signal loss in that breakup, but we'll put together a regular YouTube video tonight as a supplement to the live broadcast. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Naboul, for joining me all the way from France. Appreciate that. Dutch, right here on Long Island or in the city. We'll see you next trip. Take care, everybody.